Hi everyone! So I decided to change things up this month. So instead of showing you my typical K-pop monthly reviews where I would show you all the things that I got in the mail in the past month, I was instead planning on just showing you kind of packages when they arrive. So this month I'm not expecting too many things. I've just pre-ordered Junho's latest Korean release, as well as his Good Manager Making DVD and photo book. So other than those two new things and then two Proxy site hauls, I wasn't going to get many packages in. So I thought this was a good opportunity to kind of give you more of a review when it comes to these Japanese proxy sites, because I know a lot of people are a little hesitant to try them out. So sometimes the fee structure and just kind of how they work may seem a little confusing, but I found them very useful. I would say maybe 80% of the K-pop I buy is through these Japanese proxy sites, and I really think they're really worth looking into, especially if you collect certain things that are a little bit more difficult to find on regular K-pop online stores or eBay. So this package you see in front of you was all bought through the site White Rabbit Express. So I use two different proxy sites currently, and so the things that I buy through this one in particular are just usually Japanese flea market kind of online stores or shopping sites. So the other proxy site I like to use is Zen Market, and I only exclusively buy things on Yahoo Auctions from them. So when it comes to the fee structure, I'll have a breakdown in the description of what you should expect. But this site is a little bit more pricey compared to sites like Bai or I guess Zen Market, but they're a lot more flexible in the places you could shop at. So I found it a lot more kind of worthwhile using them, even though their fee structure is a little bit more pricey, because I'm able to find a lot of hard-to-find things that I like to collect. So I kind of want to just give you an overview of how they package things by taking all the items out one by one, and then I'm going to unwrap it off camera and then kind of just show you an overview of the things that were inside, just to not make this video ridiculously long and you guys don't have to witness me struggling as I try to open up the individual packaging inside. But that was it for the kind of the overview of why I like to use Japanese proxy sites. So let's get into what's inside here. So I took off the customs form and my mailing address, and so this is the box everything came in, and this is the invoice. And so I found that White Rabbit Express, so I've used them. This will be my 4th time using them, and I like to buy things over the course of a month and then have them consolidate everything into a single package so that the international shipping isn't too expensive. So international shipping wise, this package cost me about just under 70 USD, which, considering all the things I bought in here and the prices that they ended up being, was really not too much. And I used EMS shipping, so it got here in 2 days, which was nice. And they do have other shipping options. I think they had FedEx, which was only $4 cheaper, but I kind of prefer EMS shipping to FedEx shipping. So that's why I kind of gave up the $4 to have that, but they don't have as much of a variety when it comes to international shipping compared to other shopping sites, but I usually find their rates reasonable. So let's kind of take these out. So you see they do have a lot of adequate bubble wrap, and I will unpackage all these separately, as I mentioned, so you can kind of just have a little glimpse of what is in here. And that was what it looked like inside. So I'm gonna now unwrap all these things and then come back with everything unpackaged. Okay, so I've removed all the packaging from all the items, so now I'm just going to give you a general overview of all the things that I ended up buying. So I'm going to kind of show you the things I bought and give you kind of the thought process of why I chose to buy these using a proxy site. And first off, I'm just going to show you all the non-2PM related things, since the majority of things in this package are 2PM related. So first, we'll start with photo cards. So when it comes to buying photo cards on these proxy sites, this might be a little obvious, but it's really ideal to buy like large bundles. That way you only have to pay the fee on one listing rather than over multiple listings if you collect photo cards from particular groups or a particular member. So this is one bundle I ended up buying. So this is Snoopers, Compass, and Raining cards, and since I collect Savin, this was just an ideal bundle for me to get. And after fees and everything, it just came up cheaper than if I were to buy all these individually on eBay. So I'll try to arrange these nicely so you can see. Another bundle I happened to get was an FT Island one, and this is a bundle where I already kind of owned a majority of the cards, but a couple cards in particular were a little bit more difficult to find, and this bundle kind of just ended up being not very expensive, so it was what I figured worth getting. So I got a lot of Jonghyun related things, so this is one of his earlier DVD cards, as well as some recent album Japanese photo cards. And a lot of these Japanese postcards I already own, except I didn't have his Just Do It, or We Just Do It one. And I didn't buy their season's greetings, but this bundle came with the postcards from that, so that was kind of a nice addition. And it also came with the mood kind of keychain charm. That was all of these. And sometimes it's worth just buying an individual photo card on these sites if the fees or if the listing price is really cheap and it's just more of a more rare card that's a little harder to get. So I ended up just buying this Jonghyun Beautiful Show 2014 DVD card because it's a little harder to find these on eBay or people selling these. And I think it was only a couple hundred yen, so it ended up not being very much. And another thing I like to buy on proxy sites are opened albums. So a lot of times they're like fan sightings or fan meetings in Japan. So Japanese fans would buy multiple copies of a particular album and then just resell them really cheap with kind of the photo card revealed. So I did that for Dreamcatcher's second single, and I just collect Yihyun's cards, and this was only like 500 yen. And sometimes sellers give you bonus things, so they gave me this, I guess, character band-aid. Not all the sellers do that, but some of them do. It's kind of cute. And sometimes they leave notes too, which I can't read, but usually they look really cute. But anyway, so I did that with this. So this was a nice buy. So that way I don't have to go into the trouble of trading for the member I collect when you buy these opened and really cheap albums. And it just makes collecting, I think, a lot simpler and less expensive. There's that. Another album I bought was 24K's Bingo, or The Real One is what the album's called. And so this is, I think, out of print now. I don't really have a bias picked out yet, but their photo cards for this release are pretty easy to get on eBay, but the album's not easy to get. So I decided just to pick this up, and this did come with a photo card. Came with this member, and so I just started getting more into G4K, and I need to figure out who I want to collect. But I kind of wanted to snag this before this album became more difficult to find. And then another thing I got was, so this was kind of a freebie L holder with Kara featured on it, but inside I ended up buying some of SF9's fantasy kind of goods for their first membership box, and a lot of Japanese fantasies are reselling these on Japanese sites, and they're really expensive. Like, I would have liked to have bought all the members, but because these are kind of really marked up, I found that SF9 goods tend to be very marked up on Japanese proxy sites. I'm just kind of sticking to my top 3 for collecting these, and so I've just picked up Rowoon's and Taeyong's things, so I need to get Zuho's sometime in the near future. But they come with these larger kind of message postcards that are pretty. And then you get kind of these 3 cards. So these are Taeyong's, and then Rowoon's. Okay, so the last non-TPM related thing I got is something from GOT7. So most, at the time, JYP groups, whenever they do some sort of event in Japan, whether it's a fan meeting or a concert, they come out with these random trading cards you could buy at the venue. And so these are just kind of large photos that are kind of postcard size, with either group or individual member photos on them. And so I got this bundle of a bunch of JB ones from various events. So this one is, I think, from their 2016 tour, and same with this one. These are from their Meet Me Japan fan meeting. And then I got a bunch from this event, which is the Hey Ya event. So I got a bunch with JB in fox ears, and then 2 in his white outfit. So in addition to collecting a bunch of those for 2 p.m., I decided I wanted to collect a few for JB. Set that here. Alright, so now on to the 2 p.m. things. So most of these things are Junho related, so I'll go over those quickly. But he just wrapped up his tour in Japan when he was promoting his latest Japanese album, SS 2017. So these are kind of lottery tickets from that particular concert, as well as some stickers you can win from these lottery tickets. So I got that bundle for cheap. And then I also ended up buying a set of all of his 2017 or SS 2017 photo cards, so that I would have the full set. Put them in my photo card binder. And then also from that tour, they were having, I think at particular stops on his tour, they would have these jacket cards available. And so there are 10 of these total, so I only have 4 of them, as you see here. So I need to get the other 6, and this is what they look like on the back. And they're just kind of fun. So you could put them inside of the jewel case if you want, but I'm just going to display these in my photo card binder. And then, just like those GOT7 JB photos, trading cards, I got a couple for Junho. So I picked up one of his JYP Nation ones, and sometimes they give you the envelope those trading cards come in, and sometimes they don't. The seller happened to include it, but then I got one of his house party ones. Sorry, my camera's not wanting to zoom or focus today. And so there's that one. And then I bought some more of his kind of rare photos from his last night solo concert tour. And so I just have 2 here. I do have more coming in another haul, but it's what these look like. And one of the sellers went, so when I bought this one, they threw in some Junho little memos, which was nice of them. And then I got a bundle deal for a bunch of these for his Hyper Night concert tour, as you see here. So there's like, I want to say 30 of them here. There's a couple duplicates of ones I already own, but most of these I don't own. So I'll just show you them really quickly. So there are 3 concepts that I ended up getting bundles for. So a bunch of him in the baseball tee, and a bunch with this more kind of wild print, and in that same shirt but with the kind of gray background. Okay, and then I also managed to get his box set for his latest single or mini album, and even though I already own these 3 versions of the album, I wanted to get to the box set because I already own a few of his box sets already, so it's just something I kind of wanted for my collection. So there was that, and it wasn't very expensive. I think it maybe ended up costing $25 when normally that the whole box set would cost 8,000 yen before shipping. So it was a good deal. Right, and then the last Junho related thing is I picked up another fan site photo book. So this is Across the Universe, and focus. Spine doesn't want to focus. But this was a fan site book from About a Boy in 2012. And so there's a lot of pictures from before their Hands Up kind of tour. And then I got this also with the kind of freebies that fan sites usually give out when you pre-order their things, or the kind of bonuses they include. And this wasn't very expensive, and it's filled with a lot of nice photos that you know. So I was happy to get this. And now I just have some other kind of 2 p.m. things. So I ended up getting another kind of photo card bundle deal, but really I was only interested in 2 of these cards. So there's a bunch of Japanese event tickets that were cut, which I don't know why fans do that other than maybe to fit in 9-pocket sleeves, but it's a shame. And I have some of those event kind of lottery tickets from his field tour, and just more cut tickets, but I really needed these 2 high touch tickets for Woo Young's Rose and Junkei's Love and Hate mini album. And the reason why I kind of wanted these high touch tickets is just how I like to arrange my 2 p.m. solo sections. So I still needed those, and all these other cards I already have. But if anyone wants any of these, and they don't mind that this kind of event ticket portion has been removed, you can just let me know. A few of them still have it, like this one. But yeah, that was this. It wasn't very expensive. I think it was, the whole thing was like 300 yen, and it was more than worth it for these high touch tickets, which are sometimes a little harder to find unused. And then another bundle I got mostly just for the high touch ticket was this Junkei one for his Shadow, or No Shadow mini album. So I needed this card, even though I already had these 2. And this is one of his lottery tickets. So I need to get the 2 other ones for that solo tour, and then 2 of the kind of trading cards you could get from that solo tour. And then the seller threw in this freebie, 2 p.m. forever kind of postcard, which was nice. And now the last thing I got, which I was really excited to get, was this Altar Boys. So this is a Japanese musical kind of photo book / pamphlet, and it was a musical that Chansung was in recently. And I bought this with his 2 photos that I guess, I don't know if they were giving these out or selling these or how that exactly worked, but there's different Korean idols who participate in this musical. I'll show you. So you have Chansung, who, if you're not familiar with the Altar Boys musical, it's about like a Christian rock band doing their last performance. So Chansung played the leader, and Neil from Teen Top was also in it. He played the sensitive one, and same as Kevin, he played the sensitive one on different nights than Neil. And then there's a few actors, I'm not sure who they are, but also Seong from My Name was in it. He played the bad boy. As well as Takuya from Cross Chain. He played, I'm not sure what this is, the Gefty? Fish out of water? Whatever that is. And then just a few other actors. I'm not sure who they are, but there's some nice photos in here, and there's not too many Chansung kind of solo project things that I own, so I was happy to have this. And that was everything that was inside of that package. So overall, I kind of do spend a lot of money when it comes to proxy sites, but I think when you kind of look at everything individually and just the breakdown of how much it ended up costing, it was well worth it for me, since a lot of things I do collect are a bit more difficult to find if you don't use proxy sites. And when it comes to White Rabbit Express, as being a proxy site, I think it's a good option if you want to buy things that's not available on Yahoo Auctions. So when my Zen Market haul comes in, probably later this week or so, I will post another summit video for that haul, and you kind of see which proxy site, if you want to try it, would work best for you. But that was it for this haul. Thanks for watching, and till next time. Bye guys.